Got that in the bag. All right, let's get into it. Clap it. Yeah. We hate you, Elon.
Beta.
We hate you. How you doing? My name is Hero. This is Coding with Strangers, and I hate you so much right now. Yo, we talk. Even though I know Elon Musk traditionally doesn't do well in the algorithms for me, for some reason YouTube talking about Elon Musk just doesn't do well. Maybe because he's a secret undercover Republican. They probably are censoring him. But that's neither here or there. We can make our own definitive decisions based on how people choose to act. And the ironic part about Elon Musk being this futuristic, save the world individual in the beginning of this timeline, and now him literally turning into Lex Luthor with hair, is preposterous. It's definitely going to be movie worthy. And the stories need to be told, but more importantly than the story, the annotated points in his story and his timeline where he chose to mess the world up instead of saving it. Remember, this is the person who owns the biggest electric car manufacturer in the world, and he has taken the side of profit over the environment. He used to be a champion for environmentalists and advocates for the environment, and he has slowly but surely become the snake in the grass. And it wasn't on accident. He's even trying to find ways of capitalizing off of the hurricane by giving out his satellites plans for free for 1 month, but you still got to pay the upfront $300 startup cost and to get the satellite in position, right? All the materials, the landlines and everything, $300 up front. Oh, and by the way, after the 1 month when you try and return it, you'll only get $50 back. And that's called capitalizing off of trauma and stuff like that, right? So when you have those things in mind and notion, stop me if at any point you've heard anything about Elon Musk literally building an AI factory data center in the middle of one of the poorest cities in Memphis and doing it without any form of regulation, talking with aldermen, notifying the group. And all that being said, only 37 jobs were posted for a whole entire facility. Let me know if you at any point heard that this was going on for the past 2 years. Let me know at any point that a traditional plant like this to be up and running and to go through the checks and balances required for it to go through would take probably 3 to 4 years. The fact that it was implemented, he first time mentioning it was back in June of this year, to having it fully operational and no questions asked about what happened, right? So when you put all those things together, the level of underhandedness that's going on, and of course, not even 60 days after the plan has been brought into cycle, people in the community are already starting to face side effects. And it just goes to a broader conversation that needs to be had when we're talking about AI and just the burden that it has become, the outright burden it has become, the outright damage that it is doing to the world, and how we need the people who have been funding it to kind of come to terms with the fact that it's not really doing what we want it to do. AI isn't the mythical magic button that's going to solve all of our problems. But that's another story for another day. Let's talk about how Elon Musk is literally the scum of the earth for Captain Planet.
Hey bro, I think I'm gonna head on in for the night. I'm kinda tired.
No problem. Get some rest.
Hey, didn't you work today?
12-hour shift.
And you went to the gym?
PR to 700 deadlift.
And you still got energy to do all this work? Where does the energy come from, bro?
I'm at my best when I have my zest, baby.
Get zest?
The Zest Super Berry Samba Green Tea comes packed with 135 milligrams of caffeine and L-theanine. That's how I stay focused for longer and stronger throughout the day with no crash. It's way better than coffee or any of those sugar-filled energy drinks out there. No GMO, gluten-free, and it won't stain your teeth.
Oh yeah, that sounds real good. Is this one right?
Yes, sir, that's the one. But my brother in Zest, I'm gonna need you to get your own Super Berry Samba green tea.
Selfish.
You mad, bro? Don't worry, I got you. Use my promotional code down below to get 20% off selected items and the subscriptions. That's Coding with Strangers, all one word. Put that in the checkout box and you'll be good to go. Thank you so much to Zest for the sponsorship. In July, Elon Musk made a bold prediction that his artificial intelligence startup AI would release the most powerful AI in the world, the model called Grok 3, by this December. The bulk of the AI training, Musk said that would happen at a massive new training center in Memphis, which he bragged had been built in 19 days. To get a whole entire data center infrastructure and they're all up and running. Impressive. But the thing that you famously have to remember about Elon Musk is that he has the fondest attraction for learning mistakes that people already know about. You know how like you're not supposed to touch a hot stove without like some type of protection? Elon Musk touches the stove and then comes back to you and tells you, hey, you know, you shouldn't touch stoves that are hot without proper protection. There's no signs about this, but surprisingly, no one knew. He acts shocked. And that's something that a lot of these pseudo smart people like to do. Back to the story. But many residents of Memphis were taken by surprise, including city council members who said they were given no input about the project or the potential impact on the city. Data centers like this one use a vast amount of electricity and water, and in the months since, an outcry has grown among community members and environmental groups who warn that the plant's potential negative impact on air quality, water access, and grid stability, especially for a nearby neighborhood that have suffered from industrial pollution for decades. These activists also contend that the company is illegally operating gas turbines. It's just mind-boggling how he was able to bypass it, or should I say usurp, all of the safety nets that probably went in place and probably should stay in place so that things like this wouldn't happen. And they're already experiencing issues. This continues a legacy of billion-dollar conglomerates who think that they can do whatever they want to do, and the community is just not to be considered. Keyshawn Pearson, executive director of the nonprofit Memphis Community Against Pollution, tells Times they treat Southwest Memphis as just a corporate watering hole where they can get water at cheaper prices and a place to dump all of their residue without any real oversight or governance. Some local leaders and utility companies conversely contend that XAI will be a boon for the local infrastructure, employment, and grid modernization, given that the massive scale of this project XAI foray into Memphis will serve as a litmus test or whether the AI-fueled data center boom might actually improve American infrastructure or harm the disadvantaged, just like it's so many other power-hungry industries of the decades past. So factories in the area said they weren't dumping, and then 3 months later, kids start showing up sick because of poisoning that has gone through cross-contamination because they are dumping. They're lying. These companies have the game plan and it's built into their budget. We know this for a fact. It's part of their miscellaneous items. Break the law, apologize, pay the fine. Right? And when it comes to smaller, specifically minority communities, throw them to the wolves. Throw them to the wolves. We'll get Obama to come on screen and drink some water that he got out of water bottle and pretend like everything's fine. Flint, Michigan's water supply is still an issue to today. It's still an issue. And it's one of the more diabolical things because, once again, this was done without anybody who actually lives in those communities or the representatives of those communities being a part. Remember, they voted for these people to manage their community. Aldermen and things like that are elected. Council members, city hall, the mayor, these people are elected. But we don't really have to look or think very hard about some of the things that has already happened, right? We don't have to really think about all of the bad things that Elon Musk has touched with his bare hands and managed to destroy. We can think about, for example, Tesla and how that company is falling through the roof and about to go through the ceiling. About to go through the dirt on the ground. We could think about the Boring Company, where the first frontline people who were in charge of boring the holes had to collect the wastewater and literally dumped it on the streets of the local city, where they would lie about fines and permits just to bypass the rules. We can think about SpaceX, where literal debris was being just ripped off of the ships and their rockets and landing in people's backyards. Texas has already fined them several times. We could also talk about his most popular failure, my personal favorite, Twitter, and what a shithole that is. Because one of my favorite things to date is, they finally got clearance to get back into Brazil. Brazil Supreme Court finally punked his ass enough to make him conform like he should and would and will have. But guess what? They were delayed by a few days, and it wasn't because Brazil was playing a fast one on them. It's because literally the financial department at Twitter paid the money to the wrong bank. They wired the money to the wrong bank. And just imagine having to pay a fine of upwards of $1 million or something like that. And you sent it to the that just lets you know how well fine-tuned that engine is over there. They sent the money to the wrong bank. So when Twitter couldn't go live, everyone was like, see, Brazil is being tough. And they're like, we never received the money. He's not, the fact that people continue to believe and give him chances is so weird. It's so weird that if any of us messed up, we're going to jail. That's the end of our business. We losing our house. But they continue to get the benefit of the doubt. And it's not even like we give them the benefit of doubt. It's not even like we give him the benefit of the doubt based on, his accomplishments, the things that he's done correct. He has so many goddamn L's in his shit. So many damn L's. More than Halloween. What's another long L word? Lollipop. He's got a lot of L's. So the fact that we keep giving him these benefits, that is like this. But okay, the good outweighs the bad. AI has the potential to solve a lot of issues. How bad could it be? I started to ask the same question. And you'll be happy to know AI gave me an answer. So let's just see what AI has to say. Yes, artificial intelligence, AI, can have negative impacts on the environment. Energy consumption. AI requires a lot of electricity to power its server and data centers, which can contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. Training a single large language model can emit as much carbon dioxide as a 125 round trip flight between New York and Beijing. We got to get a fact check on that. Oh my God. What? Every one of those just go on GitHub and search large language models and just see all the abandoned, forgotten projects that people thought they were about to make money off of until they could figure out where to just put a wrapper around the tokens. Just go look how many forgotten GitHub packages are just out there. And how many tokens are out there too? Water usage. This is important because even Microsoft, the big three of AI, came to the conclusion that at one point they were submerging their data centers in the ocean to try and cool down their AI data centers. No such luck. They outright electricity waste. The fact that a bunch of tokens are being used to look up shit like how to make cheese pizza more cheesy, and they say put glue, is just proof of how useless it is. And now, but guess what? The bot itself is self-aware. It understands its bias as me, a human being, asking an AI simulation about if you are bad. AI applications can introduce bias against nature and animals if they are trained using data on human inputs contains these biases. Miscalculations. Algorithms may not be able to accurately calculate the impact of natural disasters on communities, which can lead to a lack of resources in affected areas. It's kind of strange that it understands we won't know the impacts we'll have on the society that we're running in because we don't know how you guys feel pain. We don't know how to assess that. We don't know how to assess how people hurt themselves. Are you hurt? Are you confined? But guess what, guys? The AI bot isn't going to let us down. However, AI can also help reduce the effect of climate change. Oh, really? How can you do that? By modeling climate change predictions and developing low emission infrastructure. AI sustainability algorithms can also improve water efficiency, minimizing power, optimizing training and process. So basically, it has confirmed, it has told us, hey, the way you can save the planet, just turn this shit off. Turn AI off. We're killing you. It's saying, could you imagine the thing that's killing you telling you this is how I'm going to do it? Why wouldn't you unplug that? It just told us it can map out how the world is going to end. And we're like, nah, let's keep the shit plugged in. Let's see what happens. Hey, you know what? Like, share, and subscribe. I don't want Skynet to come for me. They probably got me on the radar. I appreciate you.